have some exciting new speaker that I haven't seen in ages, and that's Mr. Travis Dietz. He will be your Honors College Student Alumni Speaker. You see, he was one of the first persons that met President Parker when he came to Palm Beach State College. And he was able to be the speaker at commencement in her first commencement. He graduated in 2016 with the Honors Gold Track. He was the Honors Student Advisory Council President. He went on to the University of Florida, received his bachelor's, and just recently received his master's degree as well. Please help me welcome Travis Dietz.
How's everyone doing tonight? Pretty good? Awesome. So, like Marcella said, I spoke spring 2016 at that Medallion ceremony, and it's really nice to come back and speak again, especially after going through my bachelor's and going through my master's. I wish I was as skinny as I was then. COVID calories are hard to shed. But yeah, so today I'm wearing the same pins that I wore in 2015, the Honors College, or the Palm Beach State pin and the Phi Theta Kappa pin next to my new UF pin. But the speech that I'm going to give tonight is going to be a couple minutes. It's going to be a story about adversity, a story about motivation and grit and opportunity, and it's something that I'd like everyone to take with them after they leave. But the first thing I want to do is I want to dedicate this speech to Dr. Nancy McDonald, who was an Honors College professor who passed away recently. She left a really big mark on me, and I knew that if she was here today, she'd be proud on the stuff that I'm going to talk about. But so this speech, I named this speech Why? And this is a speech, like I said, on motivation, lessons, adversity, grit, and opportunity. It's a story of my journey as a student going K through 12 through Palm Beach State and then going through Palm Beach State College. The first half of the story I've told before, but the second half is new. The second half encompasses my transfer to the University of Florida and how I got where I am today. So K through 12, I started as a young boy. Nothing ever felt right. I acted out in class. I struggled to sit still, and I couldn't remember anything. I couldn't focus. I had a hard time making friends, and I was worried all the time. And I thought to myself, why? Why is this happening to me? Why must I be different? So fast forward to 12th grade AP Psychology at Seminole Ridge High School, for any of the Hawks that are here. I took AP Psychology, and I'll never forget getting to chapter 13, which was mental illness and learning disabilities. It was like reading, when I got to the certain section in this textbook, it was like reading about myself, line for line, word for word. And I asked my teacher, is this why I've struggled? So soon after, I got treatment, and I was brand new. I loved learning. I went from being an okay student to having straight A's. Lost my spot, sorry. To having straight A's, and I bumped my GPA up high enough to where I was able to get the green and gold scholarship to Palm Beach State College. And I thought I had the answer at that time. I didn't know that I only made it one step up the flight of stairs called real life. So now at Palm Beach State College, I was a machine. I had every scholarship. I had straight A's. I was the president of HSAC. I was the vice president of Phi Theta Kappa at the Palm Beach Gardens campus. Everyone knew me. I worked 2 jobs, and the money was flowing. And as you can imagine, my ego was inflating. And I thought, this is why. I shouldn't have to have a worry in the world. So this is where point number 1 comes in. Graduates, think about the future value of your current decisions. Don't be short-sighted, and make decisions that will benefit future you. And I'll get more into that in just a second. So at this point, it was my last semester at Palm Beach State College, and I was the student guest speaker at the graduate luncheon, and I delivered this same speech up to this moment. So I got accepted into the University of Florida's prestigious undergraduate finance program, and I thought I was going to be Mr. Wall Street. And I thought, yes, this is why. This is why I've struggled. So now is part two. This is the part that I haven't spoke about yet, and this is the story of adversity. So I moved to Gainesville into a 3-bedroom apartment while the other 2 roommates were on their way moving out. I had no idea what I was doing. I didn't have a job, and I had very little savings, and I had never thought about the future. So remember lesson number 1, think about the future value of your current decisions. I didn't think about having to have money in the future because I was so wrapped up in the moment. So that's the first lesson. I was what felt like at Palm Beach State College, a big shark pulled out of a small pond and thrown into the Pacific Ocean with megalodons. That's what university is like. But I left my friends behind in West Palm Beach, and I didn't have any friends in Gainesville, and here I was alone. Something they didn't tell me as a finance transfer was that the semester that I transferred into this major, I had to take the hardest class in the entire degree, business finance, FIN 3403. I'll never forget it, and good luck to anyone that's going into UF from the business program. But I had to get a B in that class to stay a finance major. That was one of the requirements. The class was 3 exams, no extra credit, no homework. So remember the straight A's? Gone. First exam, F. Second exam, F. Now it was impossible to get that B. My ego that I built up at Palm Beach State College was crushed. How could I go from what I was to this? Why? Why stay in school? Why must I endure this pain? Why must I endure being alone? Why must I endure this mental illness? So I withdrew from the course, and this is when things got real for me, really fast. This is where I learned about grit, which is a word that everyone's heard about, but some people may not know the definition of. So I had $950 in my checking, and I had to retake business finance, which cost $850. Sorry, this is difficult to talk about, but it's important. So I had $93 left in my checking, and I thought, how on earth can I feed myself? So I found a coupon online, and I bought a 27-pound bucket of meal replacement shake mix from bodybuilding.com. It had most of the macro and micronutrients I needed to get by. So for 21 days straight, 5 to 6 times per day, I had a protein shake with a scoop of peanut butter mixed in with a blender that I bought from Goodwill. I was also turning off the AC until it became unbearably hot, and I was taking cold showers, turning the water on and off to reduce the cost of electricity and water. So simultaneously, I was taking business finance again over the summer, C+. I couldn't get the B. I was supposed to be finance, but what now? I seriously questioned if finance was for me. This brings me to my second major point, and the most important point I want to impart tonight. The way you frame things in life is extremely important. Be sure to look at life through a lens that sees adversity and challenging times as an opportunity to grow. Surround yourself with these types of people that think the same way. Change is constant, but growth is optional. For those of you who like Shakespeare, he once said, "There is nothing either good or bad, but thinking makes it so." I'll repeat that again. There is nothing either good or bad, but thinking makes it so. Fast forward a month, I'm in my advisor's office, talking through my dilemma, asking my options, marketing, management, general business, information systems. Those were different majors. So I asked about information systems, and I really liked computers, and it came pretty easy to me. I was the computer guy for my friends and family. So I loved information systems. It all made sense. Business and computers married together, amazing. Now I knew what I wanted. I started to form my why. So, working again. I started working again to survive while I was in school, and it was a struggle to keep up with my classes, to say the least. You sure do learn how uneven the playing field is when you wake up early every day, work during the day, start your studies at 6 p.m., and barely pull a 3.0. When you check Instagram and your classmates who have private tutors sleep in every day, party at night, drive nice cars, and get great grades, also get the prestigious internships that you got to climb from. I've slept in my car, on lunch, and at work way more times than I'd like to admit. But remember, it all comes down to how you frame things. I framed this as character development. My why started to make more sense. So at this apartment complex leasing agent job, a resident that coincidentally worked at UF, who was a regular in the office, asked me, "Have you ever thought about getting your master's in information systems?" I had not. But it sounded good. And the next thing I knew, I was in the admissions office for the information systems master's program, still awake from my all-nighter, and I signed up for master's classes. The next semester, I quit my job, and I took out graduate school student loans to cover my tuition and living expenses. I loved it. I loved my master's. I ran for president of the Association for Information Systems, which is the student body organization for my master's program. We pivoted with COVID, and I grew the organization tremendously. I learned even more what it was like to be a servant leader, which all of you are here today. I've received an offer to work at one of the most important financial tech companies in the world, starting in this July, and I've graduated with my master's in information systems on April 30th. Thank you. But the applause is for these guys here today. Failing business finance was the best thing that ever happened to me. Seriously. My favorite quote from Steve Jobs was, "You can't connect the dots looking forward, you can only connect them looking backwards." So you have to trust that the dots will connect somehow in your future. It all makes sense now. I know my why. So guys, take away from this today that no matter how difficult life gets, it will get better eventually. Keep that hope and keep that motivation. Know why you're doing what you're doing. Give yourself reasons why you should persevere, and know why you'll get up in the morning. Know your why. Thank you.